Hello guys, my name is Jonas, but you can just call me Tolo. Today I will be talking a little bit about Xsplit. You guys have been asking, Tolo, how do you do all your live streaming? What program do you use? What settings do you use? And etc. You guys have been coming at me with a lot of different questions. And when in this video I hope to answer, if not all of the questions, then most of the questions. And of course, if you have any further question, feel free to leave them in the comment section below after you have watched this video, and I'll make my best in order to answer them. So let's get started, shall we? I am live streaming by using a program called Xsplit. Xsplit is currently one of the best live streaming software out there. There is definitely other software and very good software out there, but I just find Xsplit to be the most user-friendly, and that is the one I prefer to use. I don't have much experience with the other, so I cannot speak too much about that, but I am very satisfied with Xsplit at this point. Xsplit is currently in beta, which means it is completely free to download, and I will leave you guys with a link in the description box below that you could use in order to download the program. It is completely free of cost, but keep in mind, guys, later on when it actually is released, it will be costing money. But that's a whole nother story. So you guys have come here to know, how do I start live streaming? Well, first of all, you need to create an account on a live streaming website. There is various websites you can be using. The most or the biggest websites for gamers are definitely Twitch.tv is one of them. It is a very big website with all kind of different games being shown. Call of Duty, Battlefield, World of Warcraft, Dota, Halo, League of Legends, and etc. A lot of games are being added every single day. So that's very cool. That's a lot of people already live streaming there. So that's a great site to be using. You can also go to owned.tv, which is another website. However, this website is mainly known for League of Legends, but they also have other people live streaming there. But it is mainly known for League of Legends and of course Affine Live. So that's the websites you could be using. Those I recommend you guys to register an account on either website. Don't care which one, just either of them will do just fine. There is other websites out there, but those two are definitely the best ones for gamers, at least in my opinion. You guys may have other opinions, but this is my opinion. So once you have registered on either website, you'll have to start up your program, and there's a lot of different configuration. And before I start going into all the different configurations you can put down, I want to make it very, very clear for you guys. I am by no means using the best or most perfect settings for Xsplit. I am certainly not, and it requires a lot of tweaking. And the settings I'm going to be giving you guys here and now are not going to be the best of the best for you guys, because it all depends on what kind of computer do you have, what is your PC specs, what is your internet connection, and etc. So the first thing I would like you guys to go ahead and figure out what is your internet connection. And how do you check out what is your internet connection if you don't already know? Well, in my case, I have 20 megabyte per second download speed and 2 megabyte per second upload speed. But to be more accurate, you can go to a website such as speedtest.net. There is certainly a lot of other websites out there, but this is one of the good ones. So let's make a test. When you first enter the website, it will probably look something like this. Let me show you. Let's begin the test. And it is running. The download speed doesn't matter that much. It really doesn't matter. And it all depends on the upload speed. So you definitely want to have a good upload speed, and I would recommend you guys to have somewhere around 2 megabyte per second upload speed. Anything below will be not the best, but it can do. But 2 megabyte per second or above. As you guys can see, I am actually paying for 2 megabyte per second, but my internet speed varies a lot. That has something to do with my local ISP. But as you can see, I got 1.68 megabyte per second. I want you guys to go to this website, look at the number, and keep it in mind for later on, and I will explain you why. So let's put this away for a second and open the actual program Xsplit. This is how it looks like. When you first open it, it will probably look something like this. There will be nothing at all. So the first thing I want you guys to do is add a screen region. You could do that by going down here, follow my mouse, down here and click on the button Add. And then afterwards, you click on Screen Region and you go ahead and select a screen region. Just like that. And you can see now it's only filling up part of the screen here. And I want you to take it down, take your mouse down here and click and drag it out so it fills up the entire screen. That is definitely what you want. Afterwards, make sure to use the proper resolution, and this is something that varies a lot. It really depends on how good is your computer and how good is your internet connection. If anything is wrong, if your computer is very slow or if your internet is very slow, you may need different settings. So let's take a look. Resolution, that is the first thing you want to put down. If you've got a really good internet connection and upload speed and a really good computer, you could choose the high definition 920 by 180 by 1080. But I would recommend you guys go down to 1280 by 720. The difference, it's honestly not worth the resources that you have to use, that you have to spend in order to get it. And 1280 by 720 is just fine. That is what most of the videos on YouTube are, and Twitch.tv are using anyways. So go ahead, select that one. If you don't know, if it isn't showing up in your case, I would go down and edit resolution, and you can add whatever you want in here, or you can choose a custom one and select them and click apply. Now that you have chosen your resolution, of course you have to keep in mind what kind of monitor do you have. Different monitors, your monitor might not be widescreen, your monitor might not be 16 by 9, it might be 16 by 10, who knows. And yeah, but go ahead, choose whatever resolution is fitting to your monitor. Next thing is, you have to choose a frames per second. I would recommend you guys to either use 25 or 30, once again depending on your connection and computer resource. Transition, that is up for you to decide. Transition speed, that's up for you to decide. And here's another thing. A few people have been recommending this out. If you go ahead and search on the internet, a few people have been recommending this. Whenever you are starting the live stream, go down, choose scale port, and click 10%. For me, I have a pretty good computer, I don't care that much, so I just keep it at like 50 or 60 or something. Now that is taken care of, that is the resolution, and it should be coming out in decent quality already. The next thing is probably the most important thing. You need to add a channel. You guys remember I was talking about the different websites such as Owned and Justin TV, Twitch.tv, right guys? Well, you have to add a channel. They don't appear normally, so you go ahead, edit channel, and this will pop up. Profile, General, Channels, Resolution, once again, hotkeys, in case you want hotkeys, but you can look into that yourself. But the most important is the channels. So here is a different channels. If it doesn't appear right away, which it probably won't, you have to click the add button, and depending on what you're using, you might be able to click Justin TV or Owned. If it doesn't appear, just click on the button called More, and this will be popping up. Broadcast plugin store. You can choose different sites such as Twitch.tv and Limelight, livestream.com, Multistream, And like Livestream, if I wanted it installed, I can click install and it will be installed automatically. But in this case, I'm going to show you how to set up your Livestream towards Justin TV, Twitch.tv. In this case, I've already got it installed, so don't need to go through that. But as you can see here, I got it installed. So here it is, Justin TV, Twitch.tv. Now that you got it added, you want to. Now that you can actually go ahead and add, you will probably see something like this. And there's a lot of different stuff to put up, and that's what I'm going to be showing you guys. I'm going to go ahead and go into my own settings, but this is how it will look on default. You probably want to type something like your username here, and a lot of your channel will automatically appear right here. But let's go in and take a look at my settings. Now keep in mind, guys, you can go in here, click edit, and this will appear. These are the most important settings after all. And keep in mind, guys, you remember I had this internet connection, right? Just keep that internet connection in mind. Don't want to make that fill up the entire monitor. Keep that in mind. So this is my settings with my username, secret password, and the stream key. The stream key isn't necessary unless you're gonna allow other people to be live streaming on your channel without giving them the password. But don't worry about that for this matter. Just make sure you've got your username, your password right. Your channel name will automatically appear, and here location, you could choose the main origin cluster. That is probably the best choice, unless you know that some of the other servers are probably closer to your place. But if the main origin cluster doesn't work, choose one of the other ones. In my case, I decided to use the London primary. The next one is video encoding, and this is really depending on your computer and your upload speed. First of all, the preset. You could the preset really mostly depends on what computer you have. And really, live streaming is all about your CPU. If you have a great CPU, then you're gonna be able to live stream really awesome. Your graphic card is not gonna be adding that much to the live stream quality, but mostly towards your own performance. That is, your CPU will be good for the live streaming. Your GPU, your graphic card, would be good for your own performance. So definitely have a really good CPU. So the preset is depending on your computer. How fast can your computer process things? The higher, or the slower you put the preset, the more resources from your computer it will require. And your game might end up lagging if you choose anything too slow. So definitely, if you can, if your computer is able to handle it, choose very slow. But in my case, I just decided to choose faster. But Xsplit default is what most people decide to use after all. But I decided to use faster. The quality, I'm not too sure, so I cannot tell you anything about that. But most people like to keep it around 6, 7, or 8. Some very few people go all the way up to 10. Then you want to choose your resolution. I've just chosen default resolution, but and that all depends on what you decided to choose earlier. What I showed you guys earlier, it will take that whatever resolution you picked there. Now the next thing is going to be very heavy on whatever internet connection you had. Keep in mind, I had 1.68 megabyte per second upload, and in terms of buffer and max bitrate, that will equal to about 1680 bit rates. So you definitely want to take my upload connection. So you take whatever your upload connection is, in case for those people who do not know, you take it, you say 1.68, and you say times 1000, and that is whatever bitrate you're able to perform with. So I've been doing quite a bit of research on this, and it really depends on your internet connection, but I decided to choose with the max bitrate should be 1000 and the VB buffer should be 2000. Don't ask me why I chose that, but that just seems to be working out for me. Something I can generally give you a tip about, guys, is that you want to take and use 75% of your internet connection and use that for live streaming. The rest of the 25% you want to use for gaming. So I got 1.68. That means if we take 25% away from it, then I will have about 1260 bit rates that I can actually use for uploading and live streaming. The rest of my internet connection I want to use for gaming. And why do you do this, you may ask? Well, that's because you don't want to be lagging. You don't want to have a high latency in whatever game you're playing. I mean, imagine if you're playing StarCraft, if you're playing League of Legends, if you're playing Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, and you're having a certain amount of latency, high ping, a slow response in the game. You don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So I recommend use about 75% of your speed towards uploading, and the rest of the 25% you want to use for your game. So this really depends on whatever upload your connection is, and that is why it's really important for you to go ahead and test this out. For the audio encoding, you can choose whatever you want. Codec, I would probably go with AAC LC. Bitrate 64,000. You can adjust this as much as you want, but keep in mind the bitrate is about 64,000, which is a lot. Which you also need to keep in mind because you're using some of your bitrate for video encoding and some of your bitrate for audio encoding. Now, that is said, and I hope you guys understand. The next thing is you have two checkboxes down here. You can automatically record broadcast. And now what does that mean? Well, you can record whatever you're live streaming down to your computer. I do not recommend this, guys, because that will take up a lot of your CPU as well. And the quality isn't the best, to be honest. The quality isn't worth it. So I would just check that off and just be using all of your computer resources for gaming and for live streaming, and do not record to your own computer. Most other websites like twitch.tv and owned.tv will have an automatic function that saves it on their service, so you don't need to save it on your own computer. And the next one, interleave audio and video in one RTMP channel. I just checked that off because that was default. I cannot explain why, but that is what I decided to do with. So keep in mind, guys, these settings are very, very user specific, depending on your computer, depending on your upload connection, but most of all, it also depends on whatever game you're playing. If you're playing a first-person shooter game, then a very slow preset will probably not do for you, but a fast preset will be very useful, because a lot of stuff is happening at the same time. You will be doing a lot more movements at the same time. And while games like StarCraft and League of Legends, where things not as much as being processed at the same time, you will definitely be doing a lot better with the slower preset. And remember, guys, the slower the preset, the higher the bit rate, the better overall live streaming quality you will have. And what you want is to maximize this as much as possible. It all depends on your computer, your internet connection. So you need to go out, configure it yourself, figure out what works best for you. These settings works great for me. I could probably tweak them a little bit more, but I am happy about what I can currently push out of my internet connection. And I hope this tutorial helped a lot. I might have been ranting on for a little bit too long, but that is what I tend to do. If you enjoyed this tutorial, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends, share it with whoever you might know who might want to live stream. This is definitely a good program. And if you want the program, once again, there's a download link in the information box down below, so check it out. And if you want to know any more, let me know, guys. Thanks for watching.